Can you cut firewood logs safely with a bandsaw? No, not really, not unless you make a couple of simple modifications first. Because the thing about firewood logs is they're never ever flat. And if you try to cut something that isn't flat on a bandsaw, you are likely to end up jamming the blade. If the log is supported only on the far side of the blade, like this, there will be a hollow under the blade which will collapse, and that will pinch and jam and bend the blade, which you don't want. Even if the log is supported on both sides of the blade, like this, even with a small hollow in between, the same thing will happen. If you're lucky, there's just a bang and the log jumps free, but you could also jam the blade so much that it kinks or breaks or pops off the wheels. No fun at all. To make sure none of that happens, all you have to do is make sure the log is supported only on the feed side of the blade, so the end can fall away freely as it's cut through. So I came up with this. I took away the top table altogether, and then I protected the bottom wheel with a new slopey shelf. I wouldn't want logs getting stuck in between the wheel and the blade. And then I made up a tilting feed rack. I used some angle iron to make some brackets and attach them to a solid pallet. It has to be solid enough not to flex and hold logs firmly so they don't jump. The log is wedged into the rack and can only be moved in one plane, or backwards and forwards, so it can't twist. Even bent, curvy logs are possible to cut with this type of rack. In theory, at least. Obviously, I took it easy on my first cuts. You wouldn't want anything to move. And then I tried the twisty one. Once it's held tight, it cuts easily. Now, a log did hit the bottom wheel spoke and bounced up and hit me on the nose. So I made a cage soon after this. The rope is just to stop the rack falling forwards too far. All in all, it worked really well. Is it better than a chainsaw? Well, yes and no. It's really quick with straight pieces, but slower with the twisty ones. A chainsaw gets really heavy after a while of picking it up and putting it down again all the time. And of course, they waste a lot of timber with every cut because of the curve. So I think there's a role for both sorts of saw. Now then, how about a bigger log? Note the guard, by the way, on the bottom wheel. Again, I took it easy with the first cut, but the engine and the saw could cut through this easily. No problem at all. I will put a guardrail on the top wheel and a cage up the side. And then carry on, because actually it's all working really well.